The following is my response to the Larry Haber segment on the Jimmy Church Fade to Black episode, which aired on January 25th, 2017. This episode was a rebuttal to my conclusion of my 12-year investigation on the identity of John Titor. The goal was to put things to bed, as Jimmy said, concerning my conclusion of John Titor's identity. Jimmy Church asked the question, "You've been involved with the Titor family for how many years?" Larry Haber responded, "It's been probably 12, 13, 14, 15 years, somewhere in there." Larry continued, "I have been probably the least involved person with all of this that has got any name associated with it. If I had to name a single person that has been more in the spotlight on the John Titor story, it would have to be Larry. As an official representative and spokesman, Larry has made several appearances on the popular radio show Coast to Coast AM. Those appearances caused him to be widely known. He was interviewed on the TV show Voyager in 2008 and on the documentary Obsessed and Scientific in 2005. He continues to be in the spotlight on the subject today." Larry Haber continues, "I don't know anything," in reference to John Titor. The official spokesperson for John Titor doesn't know anything about John Titor? Jimmy Church brings up my video by saying, "Somebody sent me this video, that the Titor hoax was put to bed, right?" This is the video if you haven't already seen it. The smoking gun proof Larry Haber is John Titor. 100 years will go by and no one will release proof greater than this 12-year investigation conclusion. This video is just a summary of those 12 years. I used the word smoking gun proof because it's the closest anyone will ever get. It's people like Jimmy Church that inspired me to make the video to begin with. I already had the evidence, I already had the information, but I made the video because of people like Jimmy Church tweeting me things like this. The following 3 tweets are from Jimmy Church before I had ever heard of him. The tweets are dated May 19th, 2016. "A lot of work, fun videos, but in the end, nothing. Why? Ask him. I went through his stuff, talked to everyone. Oh, the red-headed kid? That guy? He's still around? Been years since I heard anything about him. The pieces almost fit, but he found out that they didn't. Close, but no cigar. Too many angles, trust me. I was hoping for this, Larry, that someone had found Titor's time machine. It was a model in a garage, right? In North Hollywood, or some of the original graphics were produced, and they had that, you know, the smoking gun, and ready to name names. And once it didn't go there, I lost interest in it." Using Jimmy Church's own logic, "Jimmy, I'll tune into your Fade to Black radio show the day you have found Titor's time machine model in a garage in North Hollywood, or the day you find Titor's original graphics that were produced. The day you, Jimmy Church, have found such smoking gun evidence is the day I listen to your show. Until then, nope, not interested. Your major show and countless Titor experts that go on your show can't, won't, haven't, and never will provide even a fraction of the evidence I've brought forth. Concerning hoaxes, I only care about one thing. Facts. Let's take a look at the facts on Jimmy Church's softball interview with Larry Haber. I can categorically, 100%, and whatever else I need to swear on a stack of Bibles, so to speak, that it is not my brother. He has nothing to do with this. 100% it is not my brother. He has nothing to do with this. The only thing I look for is facts. Let's take a look at Larry Haber's other statements. My brother Arthur, of course, for those of you that really follow this, got into it and he apologized. I had no idea he was posting anything about it until it all broke out. And then he just called me. He said, "Oh my God, I had no idea what I was doing." I said, "Arthur, what did you do?" And that's when I found out that he had these posts. Larry Haber did know his brother Arthur was emailing me. Let's take a look at the email screenshots. They prove he knew. Larry said okay to pass it on. Arthur Haber emailed me unsolicited right after I posted my video, The Real John Titor. We had a dialogue back and forth for quite a while. He would often ask me, "What do you want to ask Larry?" So I asked him to ask Larry for me, "What does Larry think about the latest John Titor 2 guy on Art Bell's radio show?" Arthur replied with Larry's reply, saying, "On Art Bell show, the new Titor." He shrugged his shoulders and said, "The same BS." Now some new news, not supposed to be known. He said it was okay to share. Larry is now the sole owner of the John Titor business. Later in the same email, Arthur said to me, "I told him," meaning Arthur told Larry, "I told him you work from home. This is your life. and this vehicle is being threatened by others in the system. He would be doing a good deed to help me help you by allowing something to pass forward. If any of what I said is wrong, my apologies. I just wanted to push the buttons for you. Perhaps in the future I can ask him more, or see if he will chat with you, as your name didn't ring any bells. My name, being mentioned from Arthur to Larry, didn't ring any bells, proving Arthur talked to Larry about me. So I bitched to have him throw me a bone. In fact, from the last email I received from Arthur Haber, he said, I was told you could use it. He was told by Larry Haber that I could use the information he emailed me. Larry Haber did know his brother Arthur was emailing me. The email screenshots I just showed prove it. Arthur quoted Larry to me multiple times, saying it was okay to share and that I could use it. Larry Haber went on to say he had some dialogue with some folks online. He doesn't know what's going on. He just knows that I have a client and that's it. He doesn't know anything more than my brother Richard and my brother Maury. This is in reference to Arthur Haber. Arthur Haber left a message on the video, Smoking Gun Proof, Maury Haber is John Titor, the day, if not an hour or 2 or 3 or 4 after it was posted. Arthur Haber said the following: Larry knows, Maury knows, Brandon knows, I do not, concerning John Titor's identity. And then he said in a later post, now can I stand here and tell you that Brandon, Larry, or Maury didn't write anything? No, I haven't even read the stuff. I simply don't know. So there's a good chance Arthur doesn't know. But he admits Larry knows, Maury knows, and Brandon knows the identity of John Titor. Jimmy Church asked the question, why the interest focus back on your family, and why does the John Titor story just never go away? Larry Haber responded, given the times we are living in, and particularly the election of President Trump recently, and the conspiracy theories, and alternative timelines, and everything going to hell in a handbasket, etc., I think that this feeds that very well. Trump has only been in office a few days, and he's already responsible for this somehow. He actually blamed President Trump on this. You know, Larry, at any time, you're free to say, I have nothing to do with the John Titor thing anymore. It's behind me. But even in their interview, you did say, if they want to pass it along to me, and you did say in the emails from Arthur Haber that he said it was okay to share. Larry is now the sole owner of the John Titor business. It all has nothing to do with Donald Trump. It has nothing to do with conspiracies. John Titor is a hoax. And concerning that, Larry Haber repeated the same line he repeated to private investigator Mike Lynch when he said, I've always said from the very beginning and on the interviews I've said I have no idea if this is real. Arthur Haber's legitimate email screenshots from him to me say otherwise. They say the John Titor story is a hoax. Here's a quote from Arthur right here. We, of course, believe it is a hoax or charade. Who doesn't? Arthur continues. Certainly I can ask him when the info might be released, meaning ask Larry. We really don't talk about it much as a family, other than an occasional joke. We simply accept that his position is the truth, a client that fabricated the story for some reason. Maybe he will share that. So that's the family's consensus. That's Larry's consensus with Arthur, with Maury, with all of them. That we simply accept that it's a fabricated story. Now, it doesn't mean that there is a client. I personally believe there never was a conventional client, and my video talks at length about that. And the very last email Arthur sent me before I made the video was, I was told you could use it. This was a controlled hoax, and when I rewind these years, I think somewhere it was said, let's see how far the internet will take this. All I can say is this is obviously a quote, not from Arthur. They said, let's see how far the internet will take this. Use your own mind, use common sense, use logic, use reason, use Occam's razor. I think in a very logical way. I use Occam's razor all the time. I personally believe it is the person I said it was all along. The burden of proof does not rest with me. I have stacks and stacks of proof proving that a particular individual has the exact same writing style as John Titor. The day after I posted a video called The Real John Titor with very few views, I received unsolicited emails over and over and over and over and over, trying to convince me it was not that particular individual which I compared 71,000 words with. My investigation is done. My conclusion is over. I am no way, shape, or form going to investigate John Titor for the rest of my life. I'm done. The case is closed. I never made a penny from it, except for perhaps a few pennies on YouTube videos. But a few pennies from YouTube videos was never my motivation. I could change the status of no money and turn it all off, and it wouldn't matter to me. What matters to me is the truth. And I made this graphic many years ago. This video graphic I made many years ago for when I close a case permanently forever. I have yet to use it until now.
Case closed.
I thank you for watching. This has been John Razimus with Hoax Hunter. Be seeing you.